In the meantime, sir, you did mention a conversation to be had or that is ongoing at the level of the OECD. Speak to that. I mean, is that the proper way of doing this? Because we look at all these tech giants, they're all around us, and yet they are so nebulous when it comes to, having their fair share in their impact in our societies. Is that the proper way of doing it, to tackle this on a global and international level?
I honestly think so, because we need international cooperation. I mean, this is not even registered in our country. So I guess the first challenge there is how to make them register and pay our basic income tax. But since OECD is already discussing it, there are two pillars, Pillar 1 and Pillar 2. The proposal is simple. Regardless where they are registered, as long as they generate income from wherever country around the world, they will have to pay. And that is what we call the global minimum tax. And they're proposing 15%. We don't need to abide with that. We don't need to follow it. But that will give us an idea how we should be taxing them. And the number two, talagang hindi lang global minimum tax. Talagang i-require sila na hindi ka pwedeng kumita sa kahit saang bansa, especially among developing countries in this time of crisis, na wala kang binabayad doon sa bansa kung saan ka kumikita. So I guess it will also help address the possible global tax evasion, wherein they all go to tax havens, diba? And we know that even in the Philippines, there are those operating in our country but are not declaring their profit here. And that's exactly what happened to Uber. That's why Uber is out of Southeast Asia, because they are all over Southeast Asia, but their income were declared in Ireland or in some other tax havens. So the OECD proposal has so much wisdom and ideas. Again, we don't need to follow it if we don't want to, because we're not even member of OECD, parang ICC yan. In-excommunicado natin yung sarili natin. We're very independent, We're very powerful, So we don't want to be part of it. But, this is something that will help us.
Pero how, sir, does that work in global minimum tax? I mean, to begin with, we don't have any idea how much they're earning from, for example, Philippine sales. How does, theoretically, 15%, how does that work? How is that taxed? And who gets it, and how is it remitted to the Philippines?
Yes, part of the agreement is the exchange of information, which means from their headquarters to all countries where they are operating, this information will be shared to all concerned countries. So that if they don't pay in that country, or let's say tax haven yung pinagdeklaran nila, then the tax that should have been paid in that tax haven will be paid to the headquarters. Or if in the Philippines, 12% lang yung siningil natin, then the remaining 3% will also be paid to the headquarters. In short, there will be full transparency kahit saan ka mag-register. Yun yung point doon. Hindi na makakapagtago. Wala na yung base erosion and profit shifting. Or yung sabi namin BEPS, technically among tax experts, na the BEPS will no longer be a threat to developing countries, because they will be forced to declare it anyway. And if they don't declare, their headquarters or the country where they are registered will be the one to share the information.